Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Today's episode is coming to you at 3:15 a.m. Yeah, it's been a busy week, alright? Alright. I don't need to hear it. I mean, nobody actually says anything to me about this. It's okay. It's fine. I had a busy day. So I have a game for my game design class. I have a game due tomorrow, and someone made a mistake in texturing our walls, and so I had to go through and manually retexture like 4 levels worth of walls, which took me basically my entire day. I started on it at noon, and I finished the first 3 levels at like 9. And then I had a meeting with my group to do some finalizing stuff from 9 to about 10:45. And then I did the rest of the level texturing, and then it was midnight. And I was like, you know what? I've earned a break. And so I took a break. And now it's 3 a.m. And I was like, well, I'd like to go to bed, but I got one more bit of thing to do today. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. Hope your days have been all right. I'm not upset, by the way. I don't feel bad or angry about this. I want to make sure I get my emotions across clearly. Try to, oftentimes in my life people have trouble interpreting how I feel, so I try to just tell people how I feel. Like it was fine. I put on some music and I went. It was not hard, the work that I was doing. It was just a lot of like it was menial. It wasn't a whole lot of thinking to be done. I was like brain off, put on some music and started grinding. And then before I knew it, my day was done, which is fine. No big deal. Anything else for you? Oh yeah, I should ask you a question. Well, first of all, you should check out the first look I put up yesterday. Not yesterday, yeah. That game is really cool, and I hope it does well, because it's fun. And solo development projects are neat. It's like a roguelike dungeon crawler is how it was described to me on the Steam page. Check it out. Game's cool, it's cheap, worth a shot. Second of all, let me ask you a question today. I want to ask you, because I've been following a little bit of drama on small streamer Twitter. I want to ask you how you interact with drama in your life. Inevitably, there is going to be some sort of drama, but like, I feel like it gets blown out of proportion in some places, and some people really like to revel in it. I've spent most of my life avoiding drama, but not like avoiding drama, if that makes sense. I don't get into the scenarios. Like, I'm not someone who is in beef or a spat with someone basically ever, but I always like to watch. Someone that I follow on Twitter had a big falling out recently, and I've been reading about it, and it's a whole bunch of he says, she says, and everyone's posting like 5-page editorials about each other, and I'm like, damn, this is funny. I'm glad that this isn't happening in relation to me, because if it were happening to me, I would just say, no, honestly. I've tried to live my life and be unproblematic, though, in most regards. And try to be mindful of, how other people feel and such. Anyway, let me know. You ever been involved in any fun drama? Or unfun drama, maybe? And also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The real drama is going to be our beef if you're not liking these videos. Umbra, Exile, Melting, Rage Talos, Shadow Arcus, Patient Seraph, Antumbra Assault, Hollow Drippings, Void Binding. Just like I always finish the intro and have something that's like, ooh, this would be fun to talk about, and then I go through these choices and whatever it was is gone. Sure, let's play Fossilized Fangs today. Gorge Penumbra. Thick. Cool. That should be fine. So at the start of these videos, I say don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and this was something that I really wrestled with when I was starting out back in the Ratropolis days, which many of you probably were not here for, which is fine, of course. Ratropolis days was the youth of the channel. However, I was talking about, I don't remember how I got on the topic, but I was talking about content on the stream a little while ago, and someone said to me, and they were being completely serious from my understanding. Hold 1 second, I have to make a decision here. I think I Antumbra the Priest. Yeah, definitely I Antumbra the Priest, and we hope for a morsel that. Yeah, I got Magma Morsel. Cool. Like, I was thinking about Antumbraing the Disciple, but nah. I guess in this case, actually, it would have been better for me to Antumbra the 5-1 on the mid floor, but regardless. I was talking about content on the stream and I was talking about like YouTube stuff, and someone said to me, and if you watch my videos, I apologize for this, however, I'm pretty sure you do not. But like, and you know, it's also just their opinion that they told me, and it's fine. But they said to me that they do not like or comment or subscribe to content if the creator says to like, comment, or subscribe. And it really struck me. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I don't know. Like it's just, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It was like, if they do the subscription call in some subtle way, and the example they gave is like a woodworker cuts something and the ashes fall and form a subscribe button, then they'll subscribe, and I'm like, god damn, dude, that's a lot of fucking work, man. It's not that big of a deal to press subscribe. I'm gonna take packed morsels here. And stealth is kind of awkward with Gorge Penumbra, because it creates this position where your Penumbra can't tank for the morsels, so it makes morsels even harder to play. But it makes them easier to play because stealth will allow them to live on the Divinity. However, I think on the if the Divinity is not looking settled up here, I'm probably just going to play mid floor because of Fossilized Fangs. Although, no, the problem is if I play Molten Casement, I'm giving up one of my morsel spaces on the floor. Yeah, I don't like it. Let's take Entombed Explosive. That seems good here. I always overlook this card. I bet it's good here. I know, that really struck me, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I don't have a whole lot else to say about it. It's just like, subscription numbers don't matter. The likes and the comments are what really matter. Subscription numbers are like, after 1,000, I don't think you get anything meaningful. I'll buy a Shadoweater here. I'm a believer of Shadoweater in this one niche where you're playing like Gorge Penumbra and you know you're gonna generate too many morsels. That's Shadoweater's time right there, baby. Here you go, Shadoweater. I mean, I'll focus on the video, or I'll focus on monstertrain now. The early game's not all that exciting, you know? And I had that on my mind. Usually I just talk about the game because I got nothing to say. But not today. I do not want intrinsic, nor do I want value stone. I just clicked on them to check. And I don't think I'm going to be re-rolling for anything in here in the steel shot. Yeah, let's do it. This run is off to a good enough start. There's no unit that I want, so there's no reason to take a unit draft. This run wants Trample Penumbra or Trample Stone. And of course, this one, honestly, I feel like goes without saying, we want a Shroud Spike. That's everything we need for this one. Now, I do not like the no morsels at the start of the run life here, but it's alright. And then Jeweler goes here. That's 20? Oh, because of double Gorge triggers, of course. I mean, Shadoweater's gonna kind of go nuts in this run. Hang on a second here. My man's kind of gonna go a little sicko mode. He's gonna go a little ape shit here. He's big boys, however you prefer to say it. These Antumbra Assaults have been very good. I feel like I've been going through a bit of like a monster train metamorphosis with how I perceive the cards lately. Antumbra Assault sucks in the end, and it can't be our main plan. This is painful. It obviously cannot be our main plan through the entirety of the run for morsels. However, for the early game, it's extremely functional. I will take Making of a Morsel. I will not be taking the Burnout cards. What a bizarro world. I don't want to duplicate anything. I want to grab like Extreme Stone. Value Stone, True Stone. Grab a True Stone and Tumbra Assault. That's alright. Now I don't particularly want any infusions. Man, I wish Shadoweater Infusion gave the Shadoweater effect. Like, because it gives the heal 10, right? But it doesn't give the 10 damage. I wish it gave that 10 damage, because this effect is fucking awful. This effect is so bad. Like, I cannot understate how terrible it is. Gorge heal 10. Ugh. Ugh. I'm down to trade 3 Pyre health to just grab a Heartstone, put Shadoweater to a 0-100. My man's so close to being good. He's so close. He's so close. But he's not there. I'll go ahead and make making of a morsel free. I will reroll because finding holdover for making is cool. Yeah. Holdover making of a morsel. Solid. Void bindings in this run. Make an Umbra free. Just thinking a little bit about how I would balance Umbra, and I feel like I don't know what I would do. Maybe you make like this rage. Okay. What I was thinking about here, actually, if I were to try and rebalance Umbra to make them feel less bad, what would I do? I think what I would do is I would just make a morsels immune to sweep. Like, put a tag on morsels, sweep doesn't affect this unit. Add like the 100th extension to this game about morsels. Because there are so many. I feel like I should have better morsel generation. Don't you feel like I should be making more morsels than this? I feel like I should be making more morsels than this. I feel like I should be getting at least 3 per turn right now. Maybe I'm a little entitled though. I'm just gonna eat shit here. Yeah, that hurts. Stay strong, team. Stay strong. The trample stones are coming. I think I'm generating a lot of morsels per turn. They just weren't here for some reason. This is a take space by the space take, by the way. Unless we see a trample stone here, I believe I will be taking space. Now, secondary goal of this one is going to be to get a kill with Shadoweater, which I think is potentially doable. Good try, Shadoweater. Good try. My man gave it his all. He tried his best. He had a lot of rounds to go, though. Okay. Trample Stone would be big. Or, yeah, Shroud Spike is good. Furnace Tap is also pretty good here. It kind of covers a base, but the problem is it's not much of a problem. It's only bad. So Shroud Spike's better if I see Trample, and Furnace Tap is better if I see Architect in the next ring, or Penumbra secondary. Because the clear problem with Shroud Spike, Penumbra only hits 1 unit right now. With Trample Stone, that is not a problem. I'm down to take Shroud Spike now. And why is that? Well, pretty much the answer to why is that is Shroud Spike makes a really big number, and I want to make a really big number. Therefore, Shroud Spike. Winged Indulgence is good. Let's go, Trample. Alright, I actually think that this run is pretty much done here. I might lose to Patient Seraph, but otherwise everything seems pretty much finished. I would be surprised. This is Thoughtbinder. I clicked away rather quickly there. This is Thoughtbinder. Good to remember. Also really important that I make sure every turn I dodge the Ember Drain. It's doable every turn, so I should do it. I'll have to just wipe this wave. Why not? There's probably a reason not to, but I feel like I'm gonna have better turns, right? It's fine. Take 4x on a damage shield morsel and call it a day. Don't need to do any more thinking about it than that. Take your 4x, go, alright, thank you, Gorge. Throw excess lifesteal morsels over to Shadoweater. Doesn't need to be lifesteal necessarily, that just is a lifesteal morsel. This is where Shadoweater actually gets to shine though. Like, look at my man. He's gonna do a lot of good work for us through the mid game. He's gonna fall off, of course, but he's doing his part. You think you know what I would take in this run if they show it to me? I would take Crucible Extension in this run. You gotta show me Crucible Extension, but I would take that here. Crucible Extension makes a lot of sense because more space is good for the run. Barrels would have been nice, and Space Prism, of course, but you know. We don't get to be choosy here now, do we? You Shadoweater keep half health in these bosses. I'm gonna, for my own sake, because I want to go to bed soon, I am going to not sit here and click on morsel cards beyond the point where I need to. I hope you don't mind. I think it's Grovel. Cannibalize is good morsels, but our morsels are already good. Grovel brings this damage shield utility, which is great for Patient Seraph. Now, where I skipped Molten Encasement, I will take Engulfed and Smoke because I can. Yeah, because I can. Molten Encasement gets in the way of my morsels. Commemorative Spike seems good here. I'm really interested to see how Commemorative Spike stabs me in the back on this run, because I feel like Commemorative Spike has to be good here. Wow, what the hell? What the hell? This is a nightmare. There's only 3 temples. Ooh, Abandoned Ant. This is no longer a nightmare. I will be freezing my Shroud Spike. I want to get Grovel to 0. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I got distracted. I heard rain and I went, oh, is it raining? I didn't think it was supposed to rain. If you're interested, it is raining. I looked out my window and I saw a little water. Take a bunch of cards to 1. And I should make Grovel 0. It's better for Shroud Spike. Let's pay 150 to remove our Train Stewards. Not worried about Crystal Cloak, we have the wall. Gratitude, Heaven's Gold, Petty Theft. I'll take Heaven's Gold. Alright, I'm ready. So, I'll have to do some math in the next temple. Harvesters of Death. Does this frighten me? No. In my perfect world, there's a spell chain in the next temple, and we're going nuts. Look at this. Morsel Miner, you get these turn 1 Shadoweater gaming plays. The 1 turn Shadoweater gamer. Oh, what a shame. I thought I'd be able to get his armor. I do not want to let that marksman go. Oh, and then I just 8x Morsel Miner here. Big Morsel Miner might actually be worse than, was it 8 damage shield versus... I think it's fair to do the damage shield because I'm going to be one-shotting these waves anyway, so you can just take 8x damage shield. And then you have better survivability, which I think is all we need to care about. Whoops, that's a misclick. That's a my bad. don't think it matters a ton, but throwing that morsel jeweler into the fire, not what I wanted. This run has one problem, of course, but the morsel miners actually fix the problem. The problem, of course, is how do we stop the morsels from dying? And the answer is we play mid and bottom floor. The problem with that is usually I won't be able to feed on turn 1, but Commemorative Spike handles that. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We found the run for Commemorative Spike. This is it. This is the run for Commemorative Spike. It's nuts here. My man does it. That's my fucking boy right there, Shadoweater. That is my man putting 214 into Crystal Cloak through the stealth. That's our boy right there. How many rounds does he live here? Oh my god, that was like, I think that was 14 rounds. Is my estimation. I rough counted the number of times I saw the damage pop up, and I think I counted 6 plus the 8 for the stealth. 14 rounds. Lightstone casing. Cool. I don't need grovel again. I don't really feel like playing Votivary, even if it's good. If you watch the tier list, I put this unit in S+, and I stand by that decision, even though I don't pick her that much. I think that if you're playing just optimally, this card is only good. Chump blocker that has the chance to give you draw +1 if you get the right relic. Crazy. And then you get the harvest synergies in there as well. Like, I think Votivary is nuts, but I don't play her because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like thinking about harvest enemies and things like that. Gator's Hand. Yeah, I should. I don't want to play Cheater's Hand, but I should. It's the right thing to do. Show me Spell Chain. Oh. So let's go look ahead real quick. We have 15 and 10 is 25. I'm at 70. I need 30 pack shards? Wait, what the hell? How do I get 30 pack shards? Oh, that's not gonna be nice. I guess I'm just gonna make this Umbra Assault crazy, aren't I? 60, so I'm at 85. I think if I duplicate this Umbra Assault, it should give me 15. The big boy one, and that'll put me at the even 100. A little scary because if I'm wrong about the number of pack shards that gives, I just don't get to go to the boss. But I'm gonna bet on my knowledge. You know what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna trust myself. I trust me. I've played a lot of monstertrain. I have played almost the most monstertrain of anyone I know. Almost. I'm ready to leave here. Doing the math again, it's 15, 15, and 10. Wait, 15, 15, 10. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna bet on me. I think that I'm right. I'm willing to move from there. I'm pretty sure that I'm right. I believe it is additive. I'm a little more than pretty sure, by the way. Like, I'm very sure. I'll say it. I'm very sure that I'm right here. I'm not often very sure of things, but like I know this. If you have multiple, it's simple, right? If you have multiple temple infusions on a card, they add up per infusion, and you get like one minus the cost of the infusion you're doing. So for example, 10 gives 5 and 15 gives 10. And since I have 2 on that, I have 2 on that card, I have 2 on that Entomber Assault if I duplicate it. Yeah, okay. I've talked myself into it. I'm sure of it now. Oh, I should hold over Rubble Morsels. Yeah, I should hold over Rubble Morsels, although I don't have Spell Chain. Too bad I didn't get to put like Value Stone or Spell Chain on Crowd Spike here to make really big numbers, but Monster Train decided I didn't need that today. You're probably right, Monster Train. I'm gonna feed too much to Shadoweater now. Give him 2. He doesn't get the minor. Yeah. We're watching that number go up. 270, 174. Remember, this is on the 4-2. This is the baseline Gorge Penumbra putting up 270, 174s. Can you believe we've had 2 weeks of Penumbra Gorge runs, by the way? You guys are gonna flip. You can title this one something silly like "You'll Never Believe This Run." And then it's like, oh hey, it's another Gorge run. Because that's all this guy plays anymore, and I go, yeah. You got me. Don't let me down in Umbra, so doesn't really matter what you give me, I'm always going to be happy there. You know why? There's no randomness involved. No randomness, you say? Blink. Kill anything here? No. I get rid of this void binding somewhere along the line. But I want to duplicate the spike. Like in my perfect world, I shouldn't be lazy here yet. In my perfect world, I get like I get the spike early enough to put a value stone on it. That's what I want. Do I want a morsel front man? Nah, they all rock. I don't feel right about this play. Not the one where I bring the explosive back from the dead just to throw him in front of an enemy and have him die immediately. No, I feel fine about that one. I don't know how I feel about this this Penumbra line though. I think I feel good, but like, what I really need to think about here is do I want to take space? I think the answer might actually be yeah. I'm pretty limited if I play mid-floor. This is probably Trample Stone. Too bad. This is probably a double space setup. Sure. I mean, I've removed everything. I don't need energy. I mean, or I don't need energy. I don't need draw. Give me double space. How can I go to the trinket shop because I'm poor? I have no money. Wing technology. How lovely. I guess I main Gorge now. This card is escaping my ire. Fuck you, Void Binding. This deck is going to just be like a few supporting cards and a lot of cards that make morsels. Don't click the wrong one. I want Glutton 2. All second nature at this point. I'm not afraid. I was gonna say let's play it cool here, but I'm not afraid. Hey, the rain stopped. It was a fast rain. I gotta say. So it's like, and then I have room for 3 morsels now? My morsel generation is ridiculous, of course. It is large. An interesting monster train pattern there. When I play the second morsel, I do no more damage because of his regen. He regens the damage he takes. But he doesn't regen the first 20 damage because he has armor. I always think those scenarios are cool. It's fun to see scenarios in Monster Train and go, huh, I've never seen that before. I've never seen Shadoweater queue up 20 damage versus this enemy. No. That morsel miner just eat it? Oh my god. Because of the damage shield. Raise my fist to the sky and curse you. I cry out to fucking commemorative spike and I say, why? Why commemorative spike? I don't feel like taking Embered Ring on 2/4s. The man did get up there. Oh, he just dies immediately. Thanks, Heaven's Gold. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I want to... Oh wait, I'm playing this like I have a choice. Never mind. I should just... Well, on the next turn, right, is where we want to go for it here. I'm speaking in broken sentences. I want to get a big Shroud Spike onto a Morsel Miner to supercharge. And I was thinking about it, trying to save for a Rubble Morsel so that I can do the double spike, but I don't have 2 spikes. I didn't see Spell Chain. And I don't have the luxury. I will settle for a very measly, very boring 504. That is not very good. A little underwhelming for young Umbra, but his 500 attack attached to like a 200 health body, so he wins Relentless. I hope, anyway. If he doesn't win Relentless, something went really wrong. I love feeding Shadoweater things for fun. You let him know, Shadoweater buddy. You got this, my man. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna run the math here. I think I win. I'm just gonna press enter. Playing all these morsels really tires you out, you know? And watching all these animations play. It's a real taxing series of events. Not really, it's fine. But like, I'm gonna move on there. Getting a lot of grovels. I can take engine upgrade. We have a free space. Could take Crushing Demise. Yeah, I think Crushing Demise is good. Closed my eyes there for a second and I consulted the council. The council said, hell yeah, brother. I was correct. Good job, me. I do know my shit. I steal 2 units, get +1 upgrade slot. 5 energy when a tomb dies. 5 energy when a tomb dies. Cheaters hand the tomb. Yeah, sure. You cheaters hand the tomb and then play it in time with the Shroud Spike. Maybe that's too goofy. It's too late, I bought it, we're in. Don't think about it too much. Don't look. Shadowbox is sick here. Oh, that was the trinket shop. I was like, alright, now let's go check out the trinket shop. That was the trinket. A lot of multi-strike on this seed. I want him to die. Although I could give him Burnout 1. Nah. Alright, I was thinking about this Burnout 1 actually for the Entombed Explosive. That's what was giving me a little bit of pause here. It's like... Nah, I don't think I need it. I think it's not going to be too hard to get myself hit. And I'm saving 415 gold here, of course, for Heaven's Gold. You know how it goes. I have to do some amount of planning ahead. Some amount of planning ahead, not a lot. Yeah, it's probably dead weight. No. Let's do Rubble Morsel. Can you even kill him? Okay. I will engine upgrade mid floor. Fortunate that Seraph did not camp top floor. However, Seraph, hey, good rolls, good rolls. Seraph could have just walked top and wiped me here. However, now all is well. Oh, all is. They're still killing young Shadoweater? Oh my man out. What's he taking here? Like, it's 42, 56. Plus, he's taking 86. I mean, I can obviously block with a morsel, right? There's no question about that. Just looking around. Just shopping, you know? I do fully believe I want to keep Mr. Shadoweater alive. But it's not vital, and if it comes down to it, of course we're going to choose to save Penumbra, our hero. Here's Shroud Spike, so I want to put away Primitive, no. I want to bring back that Rebel Morsel, yeah. Put away Shade Splitter. This is where it gets a little weird. No, I can't stealth. It defeats the whole purpose. Yeah. Okay, get me off that floor. I think I want to get hit so that the melee weakness goes away. Yeah. Melee weakness, damage, shield interaction, just kind of shrug your shoulders at. Yeah, with this proper planning, I get a 10x here. Shadoweater can go on vacation. I think a 646, 374 is pretty good. But I really feel like the damage shield morsel is just better, isn't it? I'm losing a little bit of stats, but I'm gaining all this damage shield. Seems pretty good. And all this damage shield, if you're just listening, all this damage shield is 21. I think that throws things at this now. I'm not gonna count it, I'm not gonna do the math, I'm just gonna throw the morsels at Shadoweater. If he dies, he dies. If he lives, hell yeah. This is our morsel blitz. It's the double heavies, which is good. Saves Shadoweater, which is fine. No damage shield. I mean, we're done here. I'm gonna actually move on. But I think that the Divinity will pose more of a challenge, of course. As is often the case, but not always. It's worth mentioning because it's not always the case. $566? Alright. This run just feels so long because I'm watching so many animations play. I know morsels. Oh god, I hit Penumbra. Couldn't put the card down in time. I know morsels, I know. Let me try to play, since we got the Queen technology, let me try to play a mid-floor Penumbra plan. But I wasn't gonna fuck around too much, but also save my man. I need Shadoweater to bless every boss. Can't bless every boss with Shadoweater though, because you know, I guess if you count the mini bosses, you could actually. On the Divinity, if you count that. I would. I have a feeling that this is good enough, the 21 damage shield versus Patient Seraph. Let's add 2 stealth just for fun though. Really mess with them. Alright, Divinity. It's close. On the bright side, I have only morsel cards, so the Shadoweater should eat well. And the Shadoweater is my boy. He's going to be doing a lot of the work. Is this turn 1? In this economy? I'll play Shadoweater bottom. I'm just gonna get to work on Penumbra, I guess. Interesting turn one that we get the engine upgrade right away, though. Helpful, of course. Start putting away like dead weights. I don't feel like giving this one any more of my time. Penumbra big, but not that big. Not as big Penumbra. That might be the episode title. I've been trying to come up with the episode title during the episodes lately. Not easy. Alright, no stealth. Fine, I'll stealth. My scaling is not looking great, but next turn, hopefully, next turn I get to Shroud Spike. Also, I should be playing morsels for the Shadow Bot. Also, Shadoweater doesn't have that weird race condition on him. Okay. I should flesh that out. Sorry, I'm like, I can feel the tiredness setting in, and I'm like, I'm speaking, but I'm not fully fleshing out my words. Shadoweater hits that whole floor at once. He does not have that weird scenario where he hits an enemy in the front and then the armor cascades. That is what I was trying to say there. But, you know, instead here I am still clicking these freaking morsels, monster train. It's alright. I don't mind this damage, but if my Shroud Spike is not very good... Oh, Morsel Blitz. Right. I even looked at that. That Morsel... I mean, Shadowbox just saved me a lot of damage. Thank you, Shadowbox. We're hoping now, but now I don't have to... I get Shroud Spike next turn almost certainly. 2 cards away. Yeah. I'm gonna start putting away the curses. I never draw a card. We're not going to Shroud Spike here, because we want to Shroud Spike in time with the Entombed Explosive, of course. Just to be safe, I am pretty sure this one's in the books, though. Even without the spell chain on the Shroud Spike. I almost called it Fossilized Fangs, which it is not. Here we are. Now, I do not have a Damage Shield Morsel. Do I like Lifesteal Morsels? Not as much. Yeah, not as much. Pay the weight of contrition first. Oh, I need to put a morsel on the bottom floor as well. I don't want that Spike's enemy living. It's a little less ambitious, but it is what it is. Sometimes you make the trade-off. I needed to play Shadoweater morsel there. Damage taken doesn't really matter, does it? So if you get lifesteal morsels in here for young Penumbra. I'm telling you, this champion's good. Mark my words. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Alright, fine. I'm gonna say it. Umbra, top 2 plan. Easy. After the last few forced weeks of Umbra, I think I'm convinced. I think that's what they've been trying to get me to do, is play nothing but Umbra so that I can say with certainty they're an S tier clan. Maybe S plus, actually, more than I think about it. Me, facetious. But we're gonna get another, Gorge victory. Gorge Penumbra. Man, it's kinda nuts if you hit Fossilized Fangs and the right champion path. The problem is that it's like, you know, if you low roll, you die, so choose carefully, I guess. But hey, you can really do whatever the hell you want. Well, not true. The last 2 days of Monster Train have proven that to me. However, on today I am invincible. This is when I look over and I see that I haven't been recording. I have been. I've been checking the time occasionally to see how long I've been going. Ooh. I made it. I was actually pretty awake at the start of this one. I felt it. I felt the tiredness creep in on me during this one though, so I apologize. Probably didn't make sense at some points, but hey, you know, incoherent rambling. That's just normal monster train. Am I right? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.